Check, check, check. Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You're tuning to How I See It TV, and this is a quick How I See It live. Please remember to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. So I'm gonna just quickly get into it. Um, why is Robin hating from outside of the Bravo Universe Club? Robyn Dixon had the opportunity to tell her story about her and Juan Dixon, and she chose to tell lies and to defect. Okay, check, check, check. We lost connection a while ago, y'all. But as I was saying, it's not K Michelle's or Angel Love's fault that Robyn Dixon isn't earning the Bravo checks that she was able to earn for several seasons on The Real Housewives of Potomac. We haven't even seen what K Michelle is probably going to bring to the show. And truth be told, I might have been willing to check out Angel Love on Married to Medicine if Sweetie was still on the show. When Angel Love was on Basketball Wives, she was a nice girl. She didn't get into any drama. She was very classy. But I do know that Angel Love is one of Quad's friends. We all know that Quad has no real friends on Married to Medicine. So I'm sure she pushed and pushed and pushed for Angel Love to be on the show so that she could have an ally, so that she could have somebody who would actually stand in the gap and help her wage war against the other women on the cast. Because let's be clear, Heavenly is nobody's friend. And if push comes to shove, Heavenly is going to choose the side of the doctors on the show, i.e., Simone, i.e., Jackie, even though she's out here, screaming at the top of her lungs how much she loves Squad. We've seen Heavenly choose choose Jackie and choose Simone and choose everybody else over Quad before. So yeah, Quad needed an ally, so she pulled for Angel Love. They fought and fought and fought to get Sweetie off the show, and now that she's gone, Angel Love might be a great addition, but mm, I'm not gonna watch to know. As I said, I can be fair in saying that Angel Love came across as a very classy young woman on Basketball Wives. And another thing, Robin, we haven't seen K Michelle on TV for how many years now? We haven't seen her in the reality TV ensemble cast space in a few years, right? So K Michelle is very much removed from the love and hip hop world, in my opinion. Yes, the videos from the past still go viral, Rasheeda got bags and all of that are still going viral, but or ooh, she's shaking the table, like those things are still going viral. But the truth is, K Michelle hasn't been on love and hip hop in several years. And the last time she did TV was her doing this, I guess, like this plastic surgery show. I didn't really watch it, and I'm not gonna lie. It was good though. Like the clips that I saw was really good, but I don't know. I just didn't tune in. But it was this show where people were like undoing, you know, cosmetic surgery procedures or whatever. So that's the last time we saw K Michelle on TV, and that was in a good light. So I don't see why it should be a problem for her to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. As I said, when Angel Love was on Basketball Wives, she really was a non-factor on that show. Like she was nice, but she didn't really do anything memorable. Like, let's be for real. She didn't really do anything memorable that, I can't even point out like anything that happened on the season that Angel Love was on the show that was like a big deal. So that just goes to show you how boring she was on Basketball Watch. I don't see why, Robyn has to point out that okay, she was on basketball. It's almost like she wasn't even there, truth be told. So, Robyn, stop hating on these girls because they have secured a Bravo check and you lost out on the Bravo check that you once were getting. Now, moving on to Rasheeda, who is Delulu as can be, because she said that her and Kirk are the kings and queens of love and hip hop, that people are tuning in to watch love and hip hop because of her and Kirk. And I would like to speak for myself because I can't speak for anybody else, but I never, not one time, tune into Love and Hip Hop for the Kirk and Rasheeda storyline. Not even when, we were finding out that Kirk had a baby with Jasmine or anything like that. I did not care. Jocelyn Hernandez, Stevie J, as horrible as they were in terms of their character, they were entertaining. And that's what people were tuning in for. We were tuning in to see what was going, what Jocelyn was gonna say next, what Stevie J was gonna do next, what Mimi was gonna do next. That's what people were tuning in for. Not no Kirk and Rasheeda. Like, let's be clear and let's be for real. People were more tuned in for the Scrappy and Erica and Shay of it all. And when K Michelle was on there, people were tuning in for K Michelle. I don't know anybody that has ever said, "Oh my God, I gotta watch Love and Hip Hop tonight because I want to see what Rasheeda and Kurt got going on." I've never heard anybody say that. Even when people are reposting clips from old episodes of the show, it's not even about Rasheeda and Kirk. It's always about Jocelyn or K Michelle. That's what people talk about. So to sit there and say you are the king and queen of love and hip hop, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I beg to differ, Rashida. And I am not even a fan of Yandy Smith. But let's get into her and some of the things that she has pointed out over, Oh, let me say this. Now I'm watching Love and Hip Hop for Spice because Spice is Jamaican and everybody knows I'm your Jamaican queen, Miss Y. So definitely I'm going to tune in to support a Jamaican artist that's on that show. Literally the only artist, working artist on that show. Okay? Still not watching for no Kirk and Rashida. And if Spice wasn't on Love and Hip Hop, I probably wouldn't be watching, truth be told. But let's move on to Yandy and why I'm Team Yandy in her feud with Rasheeda. Because the last season of Love and Hip Hop, all Yandy ever did was try to protect Rasheeda and try to protect Rasheeda's marriage. When anybody would be in Yandy's presence, bringing up messy conversation and messy stuff about Rasheeda and Kirk, Yandy would shut it down or she would walk away. She never entertained it. Rasheeda, on the other hand, she would see and hear people talking about the Harrises, and she wouldn't even hit up her girl, Yandy, at the time and say, hey, this is what happened. I just wanted you to know so, if you see these people, you're not ambushed. And the reason why Rasheeda got mad is because she knew that Jasmine, her husband's baby mama, was walking around saying disrespectful things, bringing girls around to be messy when it came to Yandy's marriage, whether she's married or not. She calls herself married. And somebody told Yandy, like, yeah, when the girl did XYZ, Rashida was there. I thought she would have told you what happened. And all Yandy asks is like, girl, they're telling me that this happened and you were there and you didn't call me. And Rashida basically deflected. She acted like she didn't know what the people were talking about. And then she went on to say that, like, it wasn't her business. And I get all of that. I get all of that. But if your friend is telling you that they feel some type of way, that some tea that's being, spread all over the place, and you didn't give them the heads up, then apologize. Just say, girl, I was trying to stay out of it. I thought I was doing the right thing, staying out of it. I didn't want to bring that BS to you. I'm sorry that that hurt you. That's all Rasheeda had to do. But instead, she went on Carlos King's interview and decided to throw Yandy under the bus. One second. Sorry about that. So yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, Rashida went on Carlos King and she was just talking mad-ish about Yandy and Yandy's marriage. And I guess there's some behind the scenes thing, like Rashida claimed that Yandy and Mendices were trying to get, Kirk uh the Frost, I guess. Um yeah, not Yandy. Rashida claims that Yandy and her husband was trying to get Kirk and Rashida off of the show. And I guess that's the behind the scenes stuff that is making Rashida go so hard against Yandy. Even this sit down, I was just like, first of all, Rashida, you are sitting down with your husband and his baby mama that he cheated on you with to have an outside child, and you are allowing her to hype you up and egg you on to go and argue with Yandy. Like, girl, do you not see how that looks? It even sounds crazy. Like, I be damned. I don't need Rashida should have been telling Jasmine, like, girl, I don't need you to push me towards going to argue with Yandy. Like, it's not that deep. And if anything, it's Rashida who has caused this rift to get as deep as it has gotten. So I'm Team Yandy when it comes to this disagreement. Rasheeda isn't making any sense. Her beef with Yandy doesn't make sense because Yandy has done nothing wrong. Yandy hasn't been walking around talking about Rasheeda's marriage to any and everybody who will listen. Yandy hasn't done any interviews throwing Rasheeda and Rasheeda's marriage under the bus. Yandy has minded her business. And when people come around her trying to be messy towards Kirk and Rasheeda, she has shut it down every single time and has given Rasheeda the heads up. And I think that's the level of respect that Yandy wanted from Rasheeda. And it was reciprocated. And now this is where they are with Rasheeda acting as if Yandy was the one who messed up their friendship, or if they felt, or if Rasheeda felt like they were just associates, then okay. And I hated the fact that last night as I was watching that episode, Rasheeda was telling Yandy, like, go check on them kids. Like, I don't know Yandy personally. I don't know her life outside of, the love and hip hop universe. But from what I've seen, that lady seems to be a good mom. Now, Rasheeda, people can now start saying a lot about you as a mother since you wanted to put Yandy's children into your argument because your son is out here facing the possibility of being charged with somebody's unaliving. So it seems like somebody can say to you now, Rasheeda, that you should have been checking on your daughter and you should have been checking on your sons and making sure that they didn't end up in the situation that they're now in. For you to go tell that lady, go check on your kids, that was just low down and dirty and didn't have anything to do with the conversation that was being had. And let's be clear, we might not like Yandy because of some gutter snipe stuff that she did when she was on New York, but but she was a part of the vision. She was part of the creative energy that came into alignment, Mona Scott, that helped to bring us love and hip hop. You cannot erase that history. And the truth is the truth. If not for her creativity, if not for her ideas, if not for her knowing Mona Scott at the time and bringing and knowing Jim Jones and Chrissy at the time and bringing this idea to Mona Scott, there would be no love in hip hop. You'd probably be known in Atlanta, Rasheeda, but on the world scale that you are known right now, people would probably not know you. So yeah, say thank you to Yandy. A lot of people gotta say thank you. All right, y'all. So that is it. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter now called X at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Until my next live stream or my next video, walk good. Bye.